Hi, and welcome to Best Podcast Ever, where three idiots you don't know talk about a hobby you've never heard of, except this time, that's a blatant lie.
Yeah, I hope you've heard of video games.
Otherwise,
you're a total loser.
How did you find YouTube if you don't?
Now we'll actually show up in related videos to something.
Yeah, so today, as you can hear in the background, we have some 8-bit goodness going on. We are... I hope you can hear us over the music.
We should already know what this game is.
I'll play sound guy this time.
If you're one of our followers.
Meaning one of us. Yes, Brian has given me the little L gesture. We are playing, at the moment, Alan Jr.'s Turbo Racing, the game where a IndyCar champion who never touched an F1 car vies for the F1 championship in his IndyCar. So that really speaks. That's how we're going to tie this into slot car racing at this point, which is that that's an Indy quandary. But we are talking today about our some of our favorite classic racing video games and how that ties into our fandom of real racing and slot car racing. So.
And I also threatened to have a very boring speech about my theory on how the better video games got, the lower slot car sales became.
I think there is some truth to that.
But before we jump into something really bored, Mike, why don't you tell us... Even the video game is questioning us, man.
I'm not gonna.
We're just giving no.
I'm gonna say no because I'm not gonna.
Really, this game came with a save feature?
Yeah, it does, and I'm not gonna mess up my season that I'm working on. I'm just gonna do time trial mode right here. So, we are on my 25, 26-year-old front-loading NES. We are playing one of the very first games I ever got for Nintendo, which is Alan Jr.'s Turbo Racing, and we're gonna hit the track in a time trial mode here. Oh yeah, hey, look at that. We can play with 3 players, matching our times. We're going to do 1 lap with 60 points of setup to play with. Ooh. This is like our BT challenges on Forza.
Except, wait, Kevin, don't you own this game too?
Yeah.
I don't. I don't own a lot of racing games, because when I was collecting NES, I went to a very dark time in my life where I lived in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Where?
And in that dark time in my life, there was a place called The Video Game Store. You are. The circuit number...
Oh, it is moving.
Yeah.
I can barely see it. I'm actually slightly colorblind, so this should be fun. We're going to pick a circuit. I don't know.
Belgium.
Okay, we're going to Spa in our IndyCar. So now we have a certain number of setup points that we can distribute to the different features, which I just didn't do very well. And we're going to go with background music 1. Player 1, we have 4 players set up, so we're going to have to get Susan to come down here. Here we go.
Or Kirby, he's right there.
Notice the windmills of Belgium.
How do you feel as far as like lag and stuff playing your NES on this old TV, or modern TV rather?
You know what? It's not that bad for most games. It's bad for shooters in general.
Yeah.
But anything else, it's not too bad.
So let me go ahead and show how big of a nerd I am. I was regularly saving up money and never buying something called a FrameMeister. It used to be $500. It was an upscaler, and what it would essentially do is remove the lag in your old vintage games and make the SNES not look like poop.
Yeah.
And apparently they discontinued making it. So now, it's several grand, and I'm certainly not buying it now. But getting back to the topic at hand, for those of you who've ever played a racing game on NES, actually it has all of the makings of a modern racing game as well. You're looking at the butt of the car.
How would you like to D-pad to shift?
Yeah, steering and shifting with the D-pad. Now, this harks to a time when the last Turbo Formula 1 actually had just ended when this game came out, but...
do I have to go off of what your points are?
I know you can adjust. I only gave you 30 setup points to work with now. I wouldn't give anything to durability since you have to run 1 lap.
I am just going to take whatever you... This is going to be the first time I've ever played this game.
Okay, well, all you need to know, Brian, is what I was getting at. And this is a video game construct, which is that nobody knows what turbo means that isn't a car person. Which is why you see it used as an advertising term for general products and stuff. And even when they try to implement the concept of a turbo into video games, it always comes to tears very quickly. So, listen here as Kevin hits the turbo. There you hear it spool up. Now, the way he did that was he had to shift his 3-speed gearbox on the D-pad while steering with the D-pad. And when he wants to use the turbo, he has to be in 3rd gear, and then he has to hold up on the D-pad to make turbo happen. Otherwise, he's not on the boost at all. There it goes, because,
Notice how qualifying you happen to run over random cars.
Well, yeah, this is...
It's a time trial, but there's other people on the track, essentially just to ruin your day.
Yeah. So... I think I'm better at racing something than Kevin is.
I was actually about to say,
as you know, in real slot car racing, traffic is the
really
bane of my
good
existence.
at this.
Well, I have been playing this for 26 years.
Okay, so just to name times, I think Kevin had 19 more seconds than you.
Wow.
No,
Which one
Mike
is
was
acceleration?
Mike
A?
was
A
109.
is go, B is stop.
Okay, so Mike is currently winning by 10 seconds.
Yeah, ouch.
By the way, I just got around spawn 1 minute 9 seconds. I just defied the laws of physics. The lap
you
length.
went with my setup. Ooh.
The lap length.
Should I not have?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
The lap length of all the tracks is the same. By the way,
Okay.
no matter what the map looks like. Like the map is just showing you how severe the turns are. The lap length is actually the same on all of them. So.
Crash into the guy right as soon as he
I was playing with the shifter.
You know what? Yeah, if you're new to this game, it's best to turn the music off. I actually usually, if I'm doing the season mode, I actually play with the music off because you cannot hear your car at all when the music is on, which means you can't hear. You have attack down there. You also have cars glitching out of sight.
Yeah, there's too many on screen. They're starting to flicker.
There's so many cars on the screen that
Oh
the
god!
AS
Oh
can't.
god! Oh god!
Yeah. No, yeah, there's some serious understeer in this game. Like, the handling is somewhat realistic.
I have to say, this is probably the best racing game I've ever played on an NES.
Yeah, no, the challenge of keeping your car on the road is appropriate. God. It's not like Rad Racer Ludicrous, where you're just off the road constantly and doing that.
So is he the Little Owl version right now, or is he the Marlboro? Like, what is he at right now?
I was wondering why I wanted to smoke so much. Beat Kevin.
Yeah, so at this time, I mean, we're playing in time trial mode, so one thing this game has that's kind of interesting, when you play the career mode, you have a choice of playing as Little Owl, which is basically God mode, where you have all the setup points to begin with, or you can... this is what difficulty settings look like in the NES.
I'm going to take the 4th player.
Yeah, go ahead. And it's amazing, this game has a save feature, which there's probably a handful of games on NES that had one.
So it actually has a battery in it.
Yeah. It has a battery backup save feature, like Legend of Zelda, for instance. But they attempted to implement a difficulty setting in the career mode.
Why am I boosting? Stop boosting!
Don't hit up on the D-pad.
I'm turning, though.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's very, again, I have a ridiculous amount of practice at this game.
The car was invisible.
Although, I must admit, I never actually won a race in career mode until last summer. I won a couple races I caved in and played as Little Al. Because I had previously always insisted on doing the hard setting, which is, and this is what the learning curve is a brick wall, which is often the case.
I was going to say, at this point, I think I'm actually doing worse on my 2nd attempt.
Yeah, so you can either play in God mode as Little Al, or you can start with 10 setup points to your name to spread out among the different attributes of your car. And you have to earn...
What?
You just hit the sign that tells you where pit in is.
I did worse on my 2nd try.
So, if you're on the hard mode and it's tempting, when you're 6 years old in 1991, as I was, it's very tempting to play on the harder setting because you get to paint your own car. In fact, let me start an empty save slot here and just show you guys this.
That's not Unser Jr.?
Yeah, that's the God mode season that I was working on. I'm sorry, you start with 20.
Oh, you have to name yourself Unser Jr. and it's it unlocks the points.
No, that's a choice. The number 1 save slot is always Unser Jr. The other ones you have to... So, if you want to win, you need more setup points, and to get more setup points, what do you have to do? Win. So... But
wait, make it PTE.
Yeah, I'm trying.
That's as white as it gets.
No,
Band-Aid?
There's like 20 shades of white. There's actually a pretty extensive color palette. I used to make the car green and black. It's like
What were you trying to do with green and black?
nothing. There were no F1 cars that were those colors that I could think of.
No,
I
so it was
going for
Mikey
it.
J Racing.
Sort of Jaguar?
Yeah, but this is not in 1991.
Oh. That's true.
BTE is just going to end up being Marlboro colors.
Well, no, because the
Yeah.
car should be white and the cockpit should be red.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because so for those of you who have made it to episode 4, let's talk a little bit about BTE while we play with something you can't see. BTE is a racing team. Of course, you probably caught on by now between myself, Kevin, and Mike. The 2 founding members, believe it or not, are Kevin and Mike. I was on board maybe a week later.
There's so many colors. Christ.
And essentially, Mike Duran sealed his own fate by buying a white Skelectrix
I
Mustang.
think we talked about this.
Talk about it again.
We're going to talk about it until people start listening
What the
and start
hell is
complaining
that?
about why we keep talking
All right,
about
we're
it.
going with this one because
Close enough.
it's kind of brown. But
And we've decided our racing colors is a white car with red accents.
we're going to get advice from our spirit animal, Little Al, as we head to the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Oh,
of Rio.
what does he say?
Let's go to advice and settings and find out. Your first challenge, go for the turbo on the backstretch. Be ready to downshift on the early and late turns. So we are not in God mode now, so we have 20 setup points to give to our different attributes here. There are some long straights here at Rio, so we're going to give some points to speed and acceleration and suspension and turbo. So this is the thing about the other thing about the implementation of turbo. You can run out of turbo, which, if you know anything about how turbocharging works, makes literally no sense whatsoever.
I think by
it's
turbo
a little
they
bit
meant
similar to
nitrous.
Yeah. But turbo is a substance, and this is a recurring theme. We'll get back to this in Danny Sullivan's Indie Heat. You can run out of it, and in this game, when you run out of it, you have to pit that lap, and if you don't,
You
will run out of
have to
fuel.
hit that lap.
If you do not pit that lap, you will be out of fuel.
So
and
it's
just head
turbo.
out of the
So
race.
essentially, it is essentially nitrous, and not only is it nitrous, your car just runs on it.
Yeah, it's magic nitrous that you don't need fuel with. We're going to give a couple of points of durability. And the rest...
Kevin, where did you even buy this game? Like, because I don't think... then again, I
Oh,
probably
Game
wouldn't...
Gallery of Easton.
So we're going to go qualify.
Buy your games there.
Here we go in our
Game
BT
Gallery of
special.
Easton.
Digital Press in
They
New Jersey.
they actually have like 6 copies of this game.
I probably have to go there then.
Mine came from Toys R Us in 1991.
And you paid $60 for it, I'm sure.
I didn't. It was a birthday gift along with my Nintendo.
I paid $8 for it because no one else wanted it.
I probably wouldn't.
There
feel
were
bad.
like 40 copies of this at Digital Press the last time I was there.
I need to go to.
I was
Digital
amazed
Press,
that
I
that many
guess.
people
Where's that
owned
at?
it in Clifton. I was amazed that that many people ever owned this game.
We need to just do a BTE run to Digital Press
Yeah.
or the video game store in Wilkes-Barre. Wait, this is a qualifying lap.
Yeah.
I was going to say there's no one on this
Which
track.
is ironic because Formula One qualifying usually has all the cars on the track. But not here because, again, Alan Jr., for those of you who don't know your 1-to-1 scale racing, was an IndyCar driver, never actually raced in Formula One.
And I have to say, you just got under a minute lap on whatever track this was. If there was ever such... Oh, there's K-Evil!
Yeah. So the top two... Oh.
Oh.
Well, we'll see the...
Well, we're not capturing this footage anyway. They're not going
we'll
to see
see
anything.
it. So, the top 2 places on the grid belong to Alonso Jr. because he's always in God mode, and the second toughest AI car is, interestingly, K-Evil. So,
Did we talk about your nickname, Kev?
Probably not. Another BTE member now came up with it.
Yeah, so we lovingly call our captain here,
I'm
Dr.
18th out of 26, by the way, which is not bad for the hard mode, so I'll take it.
We lovingly call our captain here Dr. Evil, due to his ability to tune the ever-loving daylights out of everything. What you're hearing is Mike failing to play video games after he showed us up.
Well, because, yeah, now that I'm in non-God mode racing against AI cars, it's very difficult.
So, like, you have to get, like, top 3 or something in order to...
You have to be in the top 6 to earn points towards the championship, because that's how Formula One points worked at this time. And based on that, you will earn setup points. If you don't finish in the points, you will not get more setup points, so you're just screwed.
So this was just short-sightedness on the.
Yeah, this is too steep a learning curve. I mean, if you play it actually even I call it God mode, but it really is still hard. This game is hard because the controls are so weird.
And it's another one of those games too, where if you hit a car, only you go flying.
Right,
off the
they
track.
don't lose any time, but you do. Oh my god. Well, I'm last now, and now I'm hitting.
Smash.
Well, because when you have the like signs telling you which way to turn, of course you're going to hit every single one of them individually and crash all over again. Oh, I guess that's my teammate that's back here with me because it's the same colors.
Thanks, teammate.
Thanks, teammate. Yeah, that's very BTE of us. So, oh look, I'm out of turbo already. The screen is flashing to let us know that.
You should pit.
I should, because I'm going to be out of the race. I think we've made our point about this one. Maybe
We've made our point about this one, and the
How
reason,
awesome would it be
the reason
if
we
the driver at the bottom left of the screen, which is still Little Al.
It's always Little Al.
Lane,
He's just staring you down.
yeah, there should be some emotion change on
He's
it.
staring into our soul, essentially saying, like, I disapprove of everything you're doing right now.
But Al,
turn me off immediately.
Al, I'm
Fuck you for
drinking and
ruining my
driving. I mean, what else do you want from me?
Your wife's upstairs. I mean, I don't know if I should go any further.
She can
with-
hear us.
Does she fear you, though?
No, because I'm not actually Little Al, and I guess that's why he disapproves of me. Oh, well,
Okay.
let's see the pit stop, and then we'll carry on.
That's all, folks.
We're hearing variations on our theme music here.
So that is why we started with this one.
I'm actually going to drop out of the race so we can hear it.
Okay.
Oh, this is the end credits.
It's the end credits,
If
yeah.
you've stuck around for our
Here, go
hour-long
through.
videos, why are you sweating?
He's sweating because I lost.
I've
The worst.
invested in this team.
Good luck
The
trying
wor-
to keep
He looks like
Valvoline as a
Hank
sponsor
Hill.
in
Yeah.
Cali's Racing, apparently. And Stro.
So,
Okay. Kill it.
Yeah. Moving
So,
on.
so we did that one because it is where we got our theme music from, or where Mike got our theme music from. So whereas Kevin does all of the work on the slot car sides,
Oh my God.
Mike does all of the work on the podcast sides. I just show up, as does Kevin, and then we leave everything in Mike's hands.
This is why you don't replace the 72-pin connector on your NES, because that
I have
happens.
one of those. It's a pain in the
We'll
ass.
have to get you the one that you don't push down. It just
Yeah.
becomes essentially a top loader, but
Right, right.
sideways.
Well,
You know
no, it pops back up, but it squeezes as hard as one that doesn't.
You know what I do? I leave the Game Genie in it and just press start.
Oh, that's a good idea. Somewhere there's a sleeve for this. I'll find it later.
The
So-
Game Genie sits in it a lot easier and is easier to remove.
That's a good
the
idea.
games from.
So we're gonna actually, yeah, because you can actually run this without putting it down in some games, depending how thick the cards are. So we're gonna move on now to Danny Sullivan's Indie Heat, which is actually a 4-player game, but I don't have a 4-player.
We don't have a 4 score, but I'm going to pick up controller on the floor because I'm quicker than Kevin.
All right.
And you probably have you played this game?
No.
Really?
Oh wow,
I
you have a Nintendo Power
Yeah.
on this.
Nice.
I have it on my Game Boy as well.
Do you have the nerd one?
Oh, the blue one.
Yeah.
It was on the same sticker sheet as that. I don't know where it is, but I recognize it when I see the nerd playing.
Yeah.
This game actually needs to be blown into.
My favorite thing about that is multiple people online have like scientifically proven that
You
does
shouldn't,
nothing.
But it works. Sometimes.
This is bad connection. Which is, I refuse to believe it's bad connection considering that we had to shove it in there with the hammer of Thor.
And considering that this console has been 10 NES deleted, the problem with that is it doesn't really tell you what's happening then because you don't get the flashing screen to tell you it's a bad connection.
There we go. Being very ginger with it.
See, that's with the game up. Let's put it down and see what happens.
Oh god.
Do you buy the best stuff?
Diablo!
No, Danny, you do not.
I see the devil!
Okay, so we're going to play this one with the game up. As you saw, the last one worked with the game down. Here we're getting some tips from Danny Sullivan, or a man who claims to be
His
him.
head's made out of Play-Doh.
Yeah. It's more like Mr. Potato Head. Knock other cars off their jacks. Now, the nerd actually dealt with this briefly in a crossover
Is that the
with
celebrity we're going to go after in this episode?
Happy
James
Ending.
Rolfe?
Yeah. But, all right.
Okay.
You are the blue.
Oh, I'm
card.
blue. B. And then I'm not going to say the rest of my initials because I don't want you guys to know who I am.
T-E. Your initials are also your team name. And Mike is S.
Choose your... Oh, I can choose my driver.
Yeah.
Brian, go to be the black one.
I'm not going to do that. That'd be racist.
I'm the Elvis-looking guy.
Wow, your black face looks really weird on that blue car.
It looks like, yeah.
Really
So, obviously...
ribs.
So, we are now... You can let Danny buy best stuff, or I would recommend focusing on engine and MPG at this point. That's what I do. Because it makes you pit less.
Okay, this is another game I don't think I've
like
played
the
as
crew.
before.
Because Danny in the first season always wipes the floor with you on pit road.
Yeah, that's
Oh, I
true.
played this in the arcade.
Or right
Yeah,
off
this
the-
is-
Oh, okay, I went the wrong way.
Yeah, oh, you're in your pit. So
I did a
B,
U-turn into the pit.
You have now in this game you have a finite number of turbo hits to use, and you push B to use one.
Oh, so B's not brake. That's good to
Yeah.
know.
No, you let off.
Brake is just letting off, which you don't find yourself doing all that much, and then you gotta watch for your pit board to pop up
This
down.
green car is all up in my grill.
Yeah.
Only the yellow one should be up in your stuff.
Yeah, the yellow car is Danny, who really is the only car that's.
Who holds every track record that's not an oval?
And it's the same time on everyone.
Apparently I have to go into the pits. 'cause my
Danny
car's
Sullivan is
exploding.
also not just a good IndyCar racer, but a great bracket drag racer.
How many laps is this?
This is the last
Wow.
lap. That's what that sound meant.
Oh, okay, so I'm in last.
Yeah, what you gotta watch out. No, you're in third. What you gotta watch out for is the pit boards. That's how you know when it's necessary to pit. So you see how they're all popping up
Okay,
over
yeah.
there. So you gotta watch for your guy. Danny actually ran out of fuel there.
Did you win?
I did. Look how jacked I am.
Now, but that was the first race. Now it's home court. Now you're racing in New Jersey.
That's no. The next race is isn't Long Beach the second race? Oh no, New Jersey is the second race. Well, I've only been playing this since 1992.
And I've only been playing this for about 2 weeks, but you can tell how much I've been
So
playing
mind you, you
this
have to
race.
replenish your turbos if you use them up.
Oh, jeez, really?
Well, you have 46 left.
Brian should no. I think Brian needs to go with what Danny.
Yeah. I'm going to take Danny's choice.
burn rubber.
Let's burn rubber, Danny. Who's Rubber Danny, and why are we burning him?
That's Stretch Armstrong's unpopular cousin.
So while we're on this, maybe we should actually talk, instead of just being completely self-indulgent, maybe we should talk a little bit about why we're doing this. So obviously a major reason for, us racing slot
Oh,
cars
shit.
is that it's a bit cheaper, to say the least, than racing real cars. And also, when you're a kid, you can't just be a race car driver. So
No, I don't. Oh,
that's
darn
one
it.
way to get your fix when you're,
If you
growing
hold
up in the
B.
90s.
I can hold B.
If you hold B, it gets you out of pit road.
Yeah.
And
you can
also waste the person who else is on pit road.
yeah, like I just knocked Danny out of his pit box early.
Brian's
on fire.
Brian's front wing is on fire.
I am really bad at this game.
It's tough. It's the perspective is so weird. I'm about to lap Brian.
It's
here.
not
You've
even
never played Ivan's Off-Road?
Screw you.
or RC
Or Pro-Am?
How am I on fire again? You know what? Oh,
could
no,
s-
no!
you
Oh,
could-
no!
You could just
I
use
got
all of
someone
your
else on fire.
You could use all of your turbo to just jet around the track.
Basically, if you turbo yourself into the wall 3 times, you're on fire. That's the rule.
Okay, I have to limp my way to pit row.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Which means now you have to buy more turbo.
Yeah. Hey, I set the track record. 123.
123.
So, obviously this was one way that, if you're of a certain generation, you could get the experience of racing cars. As you can hear from what we're doing, there's nothing realistic about this
No, this is-
whatsoever.
this is-
The first game was a little bit. This is an overhead view with completely unrealistic physics. It's basically I want to say it's a little bit like a puzzler, like a Marble Madness style puzzler / kind of a
So
beat 'em
I
up.
remember playing this in the arcade, not when it was new, obviously. I mean,
The three
I was
steering
born
wheel
in
game.
1989, but I remember this had like the 3 steering wheels,
That's
kind of
right.
like Ivan's Off-Road. And I remember in the arcade I had great control over this. In this, I'm,
Well, you're using a D-pad.
A, I'm using a D-pad. B, I'm like playing with the computer and I'm not paying attention. And
I'm gonna save some money because we're gonna get our ass handed to us at Long Beach anyway. Because Danny just wins this race no matter what. Because little Al isn't here to win it. So, I mean,
Oh God, why am I turned around? Why am I so bad at this game?
So, you know, I mean, I'm 4 years older, so at any rate, you know, if you were growing up in the 90s, this was how you did, this or slot cars was how you experienced racing if you wanted to try it.
And it seems like slot cars were a much better analog at the time.
Well, that's what I'm getting at, you know, I mean, the AFX advertising
Oh, that's a wall.
that had, you know, Jackie Stewart says AFX is the closest thing to real racing. It's still,
I hate that.
I hate when that happens. Danny just punted me into an escape road.
Short pit on him.
I'm going to, but let's see if I can turbo him into submission. Ah, damn it, Brian. Thanks, teammate. Brian just took me out.
Don't waste your turbo.
Yeah. Oh, I'm out of fuel, too. All right. Well, that was a fiasco. We actually, Danny and I both beat the track record. The default track record on every track is 120. Danny said,
I am just sucking it up here.
well,
Steve's beating you. Even Trev. He's going to move up from his letter.
dear Trev, we know you skipped leg day.
You know what? On this next one, I'm just gonna.
Brian has to
you got the
continue
continue
already.
screen.
Well, Danny, bring me back to glory.
No.
He put all my stuff in crew. Apparently, he thinks I'm going to be in the pits a lot. But yeah, as you can tell, like Mike said, as we're being self-indulgent here, this is fun as a toy, but it really has nothing to do with real racing, as opposed to slot cars where you're not just being like, oh, okay, I choose this, therefore my car does better handling. You actually had to be like, oh, I want my car to handle better.
Right, yeah.
Add some pickup shoes.
Add pickup shoes, adjust your rear end.
Yeah, I mean, to the credit of, for instance, Alan Sue's Turbo Racing, or some of the other games at this time were a little bit more realistic in how they implemented some of this stuff. But, yeah, I mean, the realism wasn't there. I mean, these games were fun to play, but, you know, if you wanted to feel like you were actually doing something, it wasn't necessarily all that engaging. And it's not until you get... and I don't have this game, but you know, one game where I feel like it started to turn a corner was there was a game called F1 ROC, which they explained stood for Race of Champions on Super Nintendo. It had a pretty advanced setup screen. Actually, I remember this distinctly. It had a really cool animation where, like, when you chose what parts you wanted to add to your car, and they would have to be developed between races. Like, if you said you wanted to replace the gearbox, like, the rear wing would fly off the car, and the engine would fly off the car, and the new gearbox would slide in, and then
everything would fly back,
yeah. Yeah, it was kind of a cool thing. I mean, it got you into the idea that you were actually changing stuff on the car.
One of the later NASCAR races was like that, where it would take, like, 3 races to develop, say, your wind tunnel or something like that. That was...
Yeah, we're now playing through assorted glitches, which makes this even more fun because you can't even see what you're doing. Unfortunately, we are going to an oval next. We're going to Illinois, which is an oval based on no particular track.
Oh, I might actually sort of race
like
then.
Yeah, what the key to this is to short pit and not knock Danny off his jacks. That's how you win this race.
Oh, okay. If you go on the green, your car just decelerates.
Yeah.
Brian's system, Mike, who's been playing this game forever.
So I'm pitting now, even though I didn't really need to, because now, when Danny pits on the next lap, I'm also going to pit, and I'm going to knock him off his jacks.
Oh, I'm out of fuel. So, I mean, would you say, like, once Gran Turismo was a thing, that was really, like, the end of slot cars being more realistic than the video game counterparts?
I would say it might have happened.
Oh, you're on fire.
Yeah. It might have even happened. Hey, the glitches are over. It might have even... I have no more turbo at all. I'm screwed for the rest of this race. Oh, thank you, Brian. Oh my god, this is the worst Illinois ever.
Oh man.
Last lap,
and I decided to pit. There we
go. There hasn't been this much car.
Pit him in!
Ah! There haven't been this many torn up cars in Illinois since the final scene of the Blues Brothers.
Because movies have seasons.
I said scene.
Oh.
But, well, I'm clinging to the lead in the points.
Okay, we'll do one more of this, and then we'll move on, and we'll let Kevin hold the controller, because as we can tell, he's just so engaged right now.
I like watching it. I love this game. This game is my favorite NES game right now.
Yeah, you know what, crew? I'm going to put all the points into you, because I'm constantly in the pits.
But, I mean, I guess it was It was out at the same time.
If you were
as
anything
the
like your
earlier-
character, you would steal points.
Kevin, don't make us censor you again.
No one knows who you're.
Why are you in the pit again?
I don't know. I tried to just not pit. I was like, no, and it made my car move laterally.
Yeah, that happens. Once you go into pit road, you're pitting.
The rubber band effect of short pitting in this is awesome.
Yeah. It is. What was I even saying? Oh, yeah. Gran Turismo obviously raised the bar for realistic physics, and you know,
And then there was that time where we all just stopped like racing cars and did Forza forever.
yeah.
Oh, what a lap record!
Yeah, I just upped it by 20 miles an hour. So, yeah, Brian, why don't you hand off to Kevin? And,
There you go, big guy.
We can have
Oh man.
Try and
see if
crawl
Kevin
out of,
can rubber
crawl out
band
of
his
that
way
hole.
Eastern
That
Canada.
as we go. To
One thing
the
I love
streets of
about this
Toronto.
game is how it goes coast to coast to coast to coast.
Yeah, I mean it's funny. The races roughly correspond to the kart races that happened at this time. I have yet to upgrade my tires even once, which is starting to show with the way I'm crashing so much. But they are, yeah. The sequence of the season is based on nothing, and you know then there's Illinois, which is nothing, and then the Trade West Speed Bowl because they didn't get the
crap.
rights to say Indy 500.
I was gonna say, looking at this, it looks like it could be in a parking lot.
Yeah, well, it's the streets of Toronto.
Canada,
Brian, why does your car suck so bad?
because I have never picked
Oh
this
my
game
god,
up
I
before.
didn't pit and now I'm gonna run out of fuel. Oh, can we make it around?
Kevin also didn't pit.
Oh, we
Oh, I
made
have
it.
no turbo either. I'm gonna cut through the grass here. Nope.
No, you're just gonna stop. You're gonna stop dead in your tracks. Oh, the white car helped you. Are you just using him as a boost?
Embarrassing.
Man, Kevin, I thought I was bad at this game.
Yeah, but you set my car up like shit.
Ah, you guys trash talking each other cost me the race.
What?
I got distracted and I turboed myself into a wall. And Danny went right by me.
I failed, and it's all everybody else's fault.
All
Of
right.
course. Oh, I got the continue screen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with some turbo here. I can't tell if my guy has a mustache or not.
He does. Oh, he does.
It's like a black Tom Selleck.
Kind of. But you know, some of the not as involved, say, as Gran Turismo or
Like Gotham, or even just like Ridge Racer, or
yeah. Well, I'm
Classic
actually
California Drive-In, San Francisco
Yeah,
Rush.
Well, I mean, those are arcade racers that you're talking about now.
Oh man.
You know, don't quite give you any of the sense. Oh, Danny's pitted behind mine at this race. This takes away my entire strategy.
There's clearly a dead person in pit row.
Yes, when you knock somebody out of the pits, it leaves a dead person. Which is
Let me get out of your way. I want to
Thank
hold
you.
up Danny for
Oh,
you.
Wow, thank you. That's team orders in action.
Ferrari.
173 miles an hour.
Ooh, I got it.
We all beat the type. We all beat the track record on that one. We already so. Here we go to the Trade West Speed Bowl, which is apparently in Louisiana, according to the map. But you know, some of the F1 games that started to come out in the N64/PlayStation 1 era.
PlayStation 1 had... That's when Gran Turismo
Well,
hit.
Gran Turismo
Yeah.
came out on that. But in terms of like reproducing an actual racing series with any level of realism, you know, one that stands out for me is F1 World Grand Prix.
And actually, I'm going to show you how big of a Sega fan I am, because I did have a Saturn. The Sega Rallies
Oh no!
were
Kevin just set
amazing
me on
cars.
fire.
Yes, he did. I saw all of that, and I approve.
Ah, and you son of a bitch.
This is the best. What you guys couldn't see, again, because we're playing video games on a on a medium that is only voice, is essentially right now Kevin is just trolling Mike, and it cost him. He's out of gas. But no, Sega's racing thing was great because it had all the yes, blow each other up.
Well, the idea here, I mean, and Kevin just executed it for me, is to cause Danny to have to pit one more time than he wants to.
I'm using the white car.
There are 3 dead people in pit row. 4. There are 4 dead people in pit row.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen. IndyCar racing is over. This is the end.
DHL, take your money and go elsewhere.
Well, they always play soccer with every package I ever give them, so.
It looks like Danny might win the Trade West Speed Bowl.
Might.
Danny has invested all his money in MPGs this season, clearly, because he hasn't had to pit much.
Kevin, this is why your Drivatar in Forza is always just running into people.
Oh,
You have
there
set
he goes.
everyone on fire but the green car.
This is based off of your performance.
Danny had to
though.
pit on the last lap, and I won it. Your 2017 Trade West Speedball champion. Yes. So, F1 World Grand Prix is a little bit of a different experience. You have, and the NASCAR games on N64 had this too. You have your pit talking to you.
Whoa, there goes the tire.
Yeah.
Whoa!
So, those are meme-tastic in their own right. You get some realistic damage somewhat, and some realistic physics somewhat. And
With all that beating and banging, it looks like we're gonna cut a tire.
So we're gonna start. We're up to the start of the next season here. Should we
move
on
on,
to our next
yeah.
selection? So, what else do we have? You want to grab something from the pile there?
Well, we're gonna go to. Being that we've tried all the other open wheel games, it's time for Mario Andretti's World GP, running the Chevy
Michael Andretti
engine.
World GP.
Oh, yeah, he's
Now,
got a bowl cut.
the irony
Now Kevin
here
doesn't want to play it.
is that Mario Andretti is a Formula One world champion, although he was racing Indy cars at the time this game came out. Michael Andretti was an IndyCar champion, or had not yet won a championship in Indy cars when this game came out. He would win one and would eventually go on to Formula One, where he had a horrible time. The NES itself does not want this game to be played. There it goes.
It's probably the most work you put this NES through in a while.
Since last summer, yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to de-glitch this.
Well, that sounded good. Okay, so
Okay,
we might as
we're-
well... Kevin, why don't you take this, and I'll talk directly to the audience
said
again,
it
which
has a
again
split
is
screen
just
mode.
us. Does it have a split screen
I
mode?
don't know.
No. There's a two-player mode.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
it is
yeah.
split screen.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah.
Guys, let us know if you like us kind of diverting from the slot car content. Let us know in general what you'd like to see, that you're out there, that anyone's listening to this. If you've made it this far, again, congratulations. We'd love to hear from you. Do you have memories of like when you put down slot cars and you started picking up video games? Because I have to admit right now, as somebody who sold slot cars, what are you going to do? Okay, you're a kid and you mow lawns in the summer. You pay $5 every time you mowed your lawn. Are you
going
going
to buy one game?
but that has all the
all
cars?
the cars you could ever want. We're going to go to Monza here.
Or are you going to buy one slot car? Ooh,
Now,
green.
your car choices here include some sort of Mugen Honda powered monstrosity.
I can't select.
I have to choose.
Oh.
And then the fastest car you can have, even though it looks like the Lotus F1 car of the period, is actually a Michael Andretti's Lola Indy car.
Question mark?
Now, the reason for this is that this game was actually originally a Satoru Nakajima game, and he drove for Lotus, so that's supposed to be his car, but it was released in the United States as Michael Andretti. Yeah, there's one song on the menus. We can't make the race shorter than 5 laps, so
No.
here we go. Now, Brian, what you need to know about this game is, you can make it shorter. You hit A to choose, of course. We're going to do 1 lap.
I think that's
you'll
fine.
be done.
That is fine.
What you need to know, oh my god, is that unlike every other game where you steer with the D-pad,
Why am I not moving anywhere?
You're in neutral.
Oh!
what the hell?
Yeah, this is. I think I played this before. Where
What?
each time you click it,
Yeah, I'm not doing anything, by the way. Apparently, I don't get to play, even though it's split screen. Somebody is driving the car on the bottom.
And
I
then
can
the game
pause.
froze
I pause.
momentarily?
I can pause. That's all
Oh.
I can do.
Ooh, it's in kilometers.
Yes, it's in kilometers. This game is absolute garbage.
oh my god, I'm having so much. Oh my.
I see Days of Thunder is sitting on the table right
This
now.
is
which
a
is
little
movie
bit-
I watched
a
yesterday.
little bit like Days of Thunder. Have you ever played Days of Thunder?
No.
Oh boy.
But I hear
so
we're
this
headed
is.
to Atlanta.
Oh, come on.
So they tried to implement some bit of realistic physics here, in that they wanted there to be like degrees of how much you could turn, which for a game where you steer with the D-pad is pretty clever. But the best they could come up with for that is that you have 3 clicks in either direction.
Yeah, well, I'm just doing spins now.
Yeah. So you can click the D-pad 1 tap to the right to turn slightly right, and so on. But then you also, it doesn't center. The steering doesn't center itself when you're done. You have to center it again. So you have to remember how far you turn.
I don't even think I'm going to make it to the end of this race.
I don't think you are either. There's 1 lap. By the way, again, I'm not doing anything. That's a computer driving player 1. I gave the computer the good car.
Yeah, I'm just going to... just hit restart.
Here, let me try real quick.
Go right ahead, Kevin. You want to...
Yeah, punish yourself. This might be the worst game on the NES, and I realize...
You say that with a lot of competition.
I realize that's setting a very high bar. How are we doing on time, by the way?
About 15 minutes.
Okay. 15 minutes left?
Yeah.
Okay. I realize, there's a lot of terrible games on various consoles. This, of the games in my collection,
yeah, it sucks
and especially...
ass.
Especially the games that were in my collection when I was a kid, as opposed to games I've collected as an adult. This was my my most hated game that I wished I didn't have. Yeah, when I got my Nintendo, of course, I got
Short
the
shift
Super
your low
Mario.
displacement in the car for maximum power.
How come you got this straight away? Oh, here's the turn. Let's see what you do.
I spun out before. What was that shit?
Yeah, now you're hitting the stripes. You're in neutral, apparently.
I know.
Just turn
If
it
this
off.
was real, it
You would have
blow
blown up the engine a while ago.
Why is my car turning but not going anywhere? Why is my car matching the grass?
That's a good question. How are you able to turn while you're sitting still? That's very impressive. It would be very useful for parking. This game, I'm just going to say, I was one of the first 4 Nintendo cartridges I had. I got this and the Al-Ansir game and Blades of Steel along with my NES.
And you proceeded to put this under your bed and lose it for 20 years, I hope.
Because the Little Al game, as you guys saw, is actually a really fun game.
Yeah.
It's hard, but it's fun. It's rewarding. You feel like you're getting somewhere.
It was like one of the
It
first
doesn't have
games.
that sound in it.
This is like when they weren't quite sure if it was an Atari or a Nintendo.
Yeah. So yeah, this I hardly ever touched this. I mean, I would take it out periodically to check if it was as bad as I remembered. And yeah, it's actually worse. Every time I play it, I'm amazed because it's actually worse than I remembered. So what else do we have?
We have Bill Elliott's
Bill Elliott's NASCAR
Challenge.
Oh, with a Funko Land sleeve, no less.
Of course. Yeah, this was not... That's how you could tell the games that were not part of my original collection, or that were not from my...
Where's Michael Andretti's game? Does he really deserve a dust sleeve?
Well, Funko Land hasn't been around for a while.
All these games had dust sleeves when we started, so...
Somebody ate them.
Yeah. By me, when we started this evening.
Yeah.
So Bill Elliott's NASCAR Challenge, notable mostly for having the best game over screen on the NES. We'll see if we can get to it. First, we have to get the game
We'll get to it so we can enjoy it, and then we'll describe it to you, and then you can let us know if you've enjoyed any of this. Who are we kidding? Nobody's listening right now. Does anybody want to make an off-color comment about race? Because no one's going to hear it. Kevin's response. Oh my god. I just get this look of like, can I say it now?
I mean, I have like a plethora of stuff that you could just say the name, or you say and it's game on.
I thank you for censoring yourself, because I'm sure no one will listen to this for pleasure, but I'm sure people will listen to this to yell at us.
But that'll get a response.
Come on.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Hey, there we go.
We could go like some DMX type stuff right now if you want. I mean, is there a filter on what we can say?
We have music and no picture.
I mean, we're racing NASCAR right now, so the N-word is pretty...
No.
And for NASCAR is as far as we...
Oh my god, I will stand up and beer bottle you. Oh, is it working?
Konami Desserts. And for those of you, and maybe there are some of you...
Does that say Coors or Melon?
It says
I can't
Elliot.
tell.
maybe, God, maybe
Mike,
there's
buy a top loader.
No, because once these games work, they work.
Yeah, but I have a top loader, and this takes 10 seconds to do.
I have a Game Genie. It makes all the games work.
So I have a toaster. A toaster walked into NJ Hobby one day, and I just bought it because they were like, "Will you buy this from us? Is this where we can
There we
sell
go.
old toys?" Wait, will it say presents this time?
Yeah.
There we go.
Now, this is an NES quirk that people don't really talk about much, but I have always been amazed. When your game is glitching, sometimes the letters change.
Yeah, because
Like
of,
we just saw.
of the way it's coded.
Yeah. But people don't really notice that in general. Oh, I have a controller, sorry. Oh my god. It's glitching because I touched the controller.
Wow, that looks like a cross between Bill Elliott and Ronald McDonald.
If we had anyone listening, they certainly turned off then. Mike, I'm going to buy you a top loader.
Why don't you just tell us the game we're playing? It's getting shorter.
This is with the 10 NES delete, by the way, and a replacement card slot. So
I think that's an NES that's been loved, and that's an NES that might need to be retired.
Oh, I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you need.
I actually have another one across the room that that belonged to my aunt who only used it to play Dr. Mario on Sundays.
I was going to say...
Dr. Mario is a game you can get sucked into.
Oh yeah, no, you know what? I never was any good at it until I went back to it as an adult, and so I always thought, oh, that's just a game that parents like, because it was. My mother liked it, my aunt liked it. As an adult, I get it now.
There were a lot of games back in the day as like a dumb kid I couldn't beat, and now that I go back to, I'm like, oh, this is so easy and fun. Mostly, going back to our original topic, simulation racing games. I think I hated everything that wasn't an arcade game growing up. Oh, there we go. It's working now.
Great success.
Are you Rusty Wallace?
Currently, I'm going to enter my name on my NASCAR license. So the NASCAR license is nothing but foreshadowing because it doesn't matter what you put as your name. Also, of course, the rub selection, which is my favorite thing on Nintendo. Any name entry screen has a rub button.
I've never seen a rub button. I normally see DEL.
Really? Oh, a couple games at them. I'm going to select cars. We have the Chevy Lumina that should say Levi Garrett, but they can't say tobacco, so it says Mobile One. We have the Ford Thunderbird, they can't say Budweiser, so it says Ford. And we have the
I think
Pontiac
it's funny
Grand
how
Prix.
the Bill Elliott's game says Melling on the Pontiac.
Yeah, which should be 27 because this represents Rusty Wallace's Kodiak car, but 25 is the number of Kenny Schrader's Kodiak Chevy. From a few years
I don't
ago.
know. These are not all Pontiacs with what they are across the hood. I can't recognize them.
There are 4 tracks to choose from in Bill Elliott's NASCAR Challenge. 2 of them are the same, Daytona and Talladega, and the other 2 are Sears Point and Watkins Glen. So for maximum comedy, we're going to do Sears Point.
Oh, good. Again, maximum comedy when they can't see what we're doing.
Right.
We need to get a capture card.
Yeah, we do.
Uh,
Okay. Well, winding down, I mean, do we have any favorite games that we haven't addressed?
Again, all the racing games from when I was a kid were not simulations. It definitely goes down to, like, you were...
Mario Kart.
Doc Jones.
Mario Kart, Rock and Roll
T-Bone
Racing,
Henry.
Sonic R for those of you who had a Saturn and are scarred forever like I am. I didn't get into simulations until the original
simulation
Forza.
feature right here, setup screen.
How much wedge are you going to put in?
Well, watch what happens if I switch from automatic to manual gearbox. These 2 guys have to come in, take the automatic gearbox out of this NASCAR and put a manual
For
one
all
in.
of those automatic transmissions in NASCARs.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't get to Kyle Petty's No Fear Racing, which we
Oh,
do have.
man. That's an episode all in itself, really.
I
Is
think
that
we'll
a
definitely
turbo-
do more
is that
than
a
one
turbo
video
on
game
your person?
episode.
Huh?
I mean, clearly we're just doing to entertain ourselves, so we can do whatever we want.
That takes a while.
It does, yeah. It takes almost as long as doing it in real life. Now we're going to change the spoiler. Let's see what happens.
Why do you still have an automatic transmission?
Oh, no. This guy's going to move the spoiler.
5 degrees.
I like how he has to. He can't come in from the other side of the screen. He has to walk all the way across the car, and then he sits down. It's like you walk in, you go, "Hey guys, we're gonna change the transmission," and they slowly lope across. the thing and change your transmission, and then they lope back and they sit back down. And you're like, okay, we also need to change the spoiler. I don't know why.
And now we need to change the final drive ratio.
373.
Again, he just comes out uninterested in what he's doing, shoves
At
it up
least
there,
he's reaching in the
sticks
right
it to
part
your
of the
tire.
car.
Meanwhile, he didn't take the old one out. He just jammed that one in.
This is what happens when you have
Your
teenagers.
gear ratio is now 6 to 1.
We're gonna change the stagger because this is from when NASCAR still had bias ply tires.
Is he going to change exactly one tire?
Yeah, because
No,
appears
you
there
need to
were
change
coil
all the tires.
springs in that car.
It doesn't matter. No one's going to notice. I'm just going to do one. Oh, he came back? Is he going to do the back end too, or just...
No, you don't need left side tires.
well, I was adjusting the stagger, so he made the right side tires bigger.
Oh, here he is again.
Konami loved to do the voice clips in the
Yeah.
games like Blades of Steel. Or
I also know for a fact the graphics are about to get a lot worse than what they are right now.
yeah, once movement happens. Oh my god.
I like how you're driving your NASCAR with a suicide knob.
Yeah. That's how you know the wheel is set.
And your shifter's on the dash. It's the old Tyco shifter.
You're driving an SR. You're driving a
You
Caliber.
crashed and are out of the race.
Wow,
I
that fast.
Wow, that was
scraped the numbers
quick.
off my car.
You have no sponsor. You have no number.
There's
I
the
have
game
my-
over screen.
Please turn in your NASCAR license.
Bill Elliott. Why? Bill.
Okay, that is the beep of warning. We have 5 minutes. So just to kind of wrap up,
Buddy
guys.
kiss.
Okay, so
NASCAR Elliott.
well,
Which
he
was the
won.
previous
He went on to one after he took your NASCAR license.
He used it to win. Anyone
So
wanna give this a
really,
shot?
the final thought.
try it.
Yeah, go ahead, Kev. The final thought here is the better the racing games got. I think the lower the attraction was for kids to spend their money on slot cars.
Well, yeah.
Because even today, like, I can go out, and if I just like racing in general, I can get a Mario Kart. If I'm into cars, I can buy Forza or Gran Turismo, or Assetto Corsa, or Project Cars. There's so
Bill-
many of them these
Bill
days.
Ellis.
Yeah, we're glitching pretty hard here. So.
We were also BTE, but that still worked.
Yeah, the voice clip still works. It just had to load it.
I think it's
we're
dead.
done.
Oh, whoa!
What a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. So wait, isn't this an automatic?
I don't remember where we left it. I changed it so many times.
Okay, so for those of you who've enjoyed this ASR video of us playing Nintendo games and jeering at each other between a relatively broken NES, thank you for coming along with this ride to us. Do we know next week's topic?
No.
Next 2 weeks from that topic?
we haven't given it that much thought.
We'll figure it out. We will be back whether you want us to or not.
You
I think
can't make us go away.
Yeah, at this point we've pretty much proven you can't make us go away. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful ride, folks, and of course,
Race.
I don't think we can top that,
You
folks.
busted that car. By
Please turn in your NASCAR license.
I love his hand. It's like he looks like Ronald McDonald. He knew where he was going to be racing for in like 10 years. Why are you wearing a white glove, Bill Elliott? What's wrong with you? Why am I wearing a yellow glove when I was just driving a white Kodiak car?
It's got the one yellow glove.
Yeah.
Where's my other hand? Why is his bent the other way?
Because his hand's on his hip. He's angrily demanding your NASCAR.
He doesn't look angry at all. He still looks like his head is made of Play-Doh, though.
I think he's laughing at you. I think that's what they're going for.
If I don't hit the A button, I don't have to turn in my license.
You can't make me turn it in.
I love. You should be able to hit the down button on the D-pad and it pulls it back.
No. No.
I'm
Yeah,
Rusty Wallace, and I'm going to
Flip multiple cars at Talladega. You can't stop me. You can't take my license.
You could avoid.
It could say Miller. It could say Kodiak. I could win championships. I could not win races.
You could avoid game over by playing a mini game in which you run away from Bill Elliott while he tries to take your NASCAR license.
Well, the end of the game is really just Pac-Man. Everything is
Well,
Bill
actually,
Elliott.
wait. They can't see anything we're doing right now. So, okay, look, we're winning.
Well,
I
Pac-Man is
thought we
Rusty
were
Wallace,
over.
and all the little things are Bill Elliott, except they're more of Bill Elliott.
Okay.
And there is no
well,
escape.
We're really in the weeds here, as usual.
That's okay. I was going to let this go out until Kevin petered out.
We didn't even play Days of Thunder yet, but fuck you, Bill Elliott. I'm gonna run for McDonald's for 10 years and get sponsored by Big Macs and not win races. Bring Dodge back and make Ray Evernham popular again.
There truly are Easter eggs for anybody who bothers to get to the end of this.
Yeah, you like NASCAR. He won a race with Jeremy Mayfield as a teammate. Remember that. Jeremy Mayfield.
You almost said as a sponsor, which would
Just,
fascinating.
just
his
handing him
face on the
$20
car.
bills when he walks out to his car.
Here's my
Go get your hair done.
Here's my huge jaw as a sponsor. That's why we only put Dodge on our cars, because we couldn't afford anything else. Yeah, I used to race for Penske for Rusty Wallace, who took my license from Bill Elliott.
Got it on the black market. All right, guys, we are actually
Full
reaching
circle.
the amount of time we wanted to do. Thank you very much for joining us on Best Podcast Ever. We will return in 2 weeks with a topic yet to be determined. I'm sure Mike will make up something for the end credits that we won't actually end up doing.
Of course.
Well, that gives us like 6 weeks because we phoned these
Yes,
things.
This is
movie
live. I don't know what you're talking
magic.
Videos. Coming to you
Hey.
live on, this is May 19th right now.
Yeah, I just had my birthday yesterday.
We never remember birthdays. This is proven by tonight.
Yes. Worst birthday ever. But happy 26th anniversary to my owning Alice Junior's Turbo Racing.
Woo!
Yeah.
Here's to Little Al.
I don't think we can end on a better note than that. So, everybody, until next time, we are Best Team Ever. Brian, Mike, and Kevin. And please comment, like, and subscribe. Who am I kidding? Nobody's listening to
This
this.
was a good one.